Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about 4 players that could potentially be in a Canucks draft day trade. Yes, you heard that right. There's a possibility that at this draft, there will be some Canucks in conversations with the management about whether they're going to move their no trade clause or not. Yes, there's a possibility we could make some deals. Let's talk about it. Can't wait to get into this topic. Let's go. All right, everyone. The big question we're going to be answering tonight is, do you think the Canucks will make a draft day trade? And I think there's a possibility that this could happen, especially with some of the names. Now, some of them might happen after the draft, but there's I still think there's a realistic possibility there could be a trade or two. Yes, you heard that right. A trade or two right before draft or during the draft, because it is one of those days where the Canucks are still trying to get more picks and get more assets. That there is a world that this is possible, and I'll tell you about a couple of them. But yes, I definitely believe that. What do you think? Post in the comments. I know that some of you are already here and you're like, many rumors are usually BS, not sure what will happen. You know what, Perfetti, you're totally right. But most people want to talk about getting a number 2 pick or number 3 to add to the third. There's also another one, we should talk about this another day, is trying to get the 4th pick by the Chicago Blackhawks. But those, in my opinion, are not what I'm talking about tonight, because it'd be extremely difficult to land one of those. And I'll tell you why. Because no matter who you add at this stage, nobody wants to move 2nd overall or 4th overall. What Brian Burke did with the Sedin twins was basically a miracle. And if you listen to the story, he almost had 1st pick overall too, and was going to pick Stefan. That would have been awesome. Now, most people don't remember him because he got injured and didn't have a long career. But listen, everyone, there's some magic going to be working out here. Now, here's the problem that is going on with Vancouver. Ryan Johnson and the Twins just got hired. They are still trying to find themselves a coach. I do think they're in talks with Manny Malhotra, and they're just kind of trying to figure out salary and term. But guys, that they got to be focusing on the draft and trade. So I'm sure Ryan Johnson is fielding calls and also calling others to see what there is. Now, everyone wants to talk about trading up to get that 2nd overall pick. I do not think that that's going to happen. Okay. San Jose, why would they want to do this? You got to, and Chicago, for example, both trying to rebuild this. Now, San Jose's almost there, and there might be a trade scenario that could happen. Okay. There might be a trade scenario. So let's talk about let's get into it. I've been talking too much about the possibilities. First one that I do think is a very realistic possibility could be a draft day trade is our boy Jake DeBrusk, 29 years old, left-handed and right-handed winger, or can play left and right. That's what I mean, not left-handed, right-handed. I meant left wing, right wing, can play either one. And his contract's only $2.25 million, but it goes until 2031. Now, there's a no movement clause. Now, just because someone has a no movement clause doesn't mean they can't be traded. They just control where they're going to be traded and if they're going to be traded, because they can decline it for sure, but they can also accept it. For example, the reason why I think Jake DeBrusk, there's a realistic possibility that he could be moving on, is because he's already publicly stated, I didn't come to Vancouver to get to be part of a rebuild. And that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? I'm sure. Like, I know people are mad about Quinn Hughes regarding that as well. That they call him Quitter Hughes, but he's looking at this team and going, "We're not good enough, and we're not going to be good for a long time. So I'm out of here." Same with Jake. Jake's like, I'm out. Like, if I get a great opportunity to be on a team that is a potential playoff team, like a place like San Jose, that would be fantastic. The thing is, who wants Jake and who wants to trade him, and what can we get? So what kind of return can you get for a Jake DeBrusk? I think it's very similar to the return that you got for Connor Garland. 2 second-round picks. I think you could get, if you could just get 1 second-round pick for this year or next, you got to make that deal. You got to make that deal. You can't have any loyalty to people right now who are 29, anywhere, I don't know, 26 and older. You can't have any loyalty to them if you're trying to rebuild this the right way. And you know what I mean? We talk about this definition all the time. Rebuilding this team the right way is that there's a big difference between a playoff pretender and a cup contender. And if we want to be a cup contender to win our first cup and to try to win as many cups as we can, then you have to do this and make sure that a guy like Jake, even though he played well for us and we know he's streaky, but he is a playoff guy. He's a Toronto Maple Leaf killer. He's played fantastic in the playoffs for the Boston Bruins. And I was shocked that nobody went and got him. Jake DeBrusk on the power play alone is worth the addition on the team, but he doesn't hurt your team at all. He only enhances it. Now, is he Rantanen? No. You know, I mean, he's not Mitch Marner, okay? He's not these kind of caliber guys, but he's steady, he's streaky, and he's physical, and he can score. He can score. And that's the thing. You want a guy, and a good guy in the locker room and having a conversation with the rest of your team, like having that teamwork, keeping the good chemistry and culture going. That's a guy I definitely think that Jake could go. I do think 2 second-round picks for Jake is not out of reason. It's not out of reason. The question is who would be interested. And so when you think about this roster, and maybe I should bring up that one if I can find it. It's got to be under my. It's the draft order. NHL draft order right here. Man, that was quick. Okay, so if you're looking in top 16, this is the top 16, but think of it in the second round and who's got picks. Calgary wouldn't be interested. They got tons of second round picks. Seattle, I don't know, but maybe a team like Winnipeg, because they were number 1, right, in the West and then missed the playoffs. Florida might be interested. I don't think Nashville, not St. Louis, probably not New Jersey, maybe the Islanders. So in the 13th pick overall in the second round, you might have something there. I don't think Washington would be too excited. Maybe Boston wants him back. Who knows? If you could get a first rounder for Jake DeBrusk, you just have to do it. You just have to do it. So that's the first one that I think is probably the most realistic of the bunch. The other one, and this one is hard because it's very, very controversial, is Hronek. Now, I think Hronek's good, but I think Canuck fans have overvalued Hronek. Do I think he's worth the first round pick? Yes. Yes, I do. I do. Who doesn't want a 28-year-old, gritty, rough, tough, can play massive minutes, right-handed shot defenseman? The contract's fair, okay? $7.25 million until 2032. No move clause. So he has the final say, but you're not, San Jose, Toronto, and Chicago are not giving you up those picks for Hronek. I know you want to believe that. And if it happens, don't get me wrong, I will be over the moon excited. I will do a happy dance, okay? But I'm telling you right now, there's no way we get a top 5 pick for Hronek. It's just bad business on their end. We might be interested, but they won't be interested. Guys, we're talking about Hronek. The thing about Hronek is that he can be our next captain. He can help develop these young guys. I don't know if he'll be our next captain. I'm not the biggest fan of him being the next captain. Whether he has a captaincy or not, he plays like a captain, and he can help those young guys out. But I think a team like Chicago, Toronto, San Jose could all be interested in a guy like that. And if you think of it that way, but maybe there's guys in outside of the top 16 that are going to be very interested in him. So you let me know in the comments. But this, come on, I just not, I can't go there. Like, I can't go there and say, oh, San Jose, they're looking for a defenseman. They want someone now. Okay, but they're not giving you a second. They're not giving you a second. If we do, trust me, I'll be pumped. Could you imagine? Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to be putting it in there. If we get the second and third pick, or the third and fourth, I get it. Chicago's not doing that. Only San Jose, in my opinion, would do that. I only think Toronto would do that. Like, some people are like, would Toronto do the first overall pick, and we give them Hronek, they give us Morgan Riley, and then we give them the third pick too? It's like, yeah, I mean, that's more realistic, but I don't think Toronto does that. Why would they do that? Because they could end up with the best available player being a right-handed shot defenseman, and now you got two of them. Doesn't make sense, but they're trying to win now. I get it. I just don't see it. Now, let's dive into the next one, which I think this one's really far-fetched. But Marcus Patterson, I didn't like when we traded for him in the first place, because we gave up a first-round pick for him. In the teens there. 30 years old, left-handed shot defenseman. Fine player, 5.5 million, very fair. 2031 has a no movement clause, so he can veto it at any time. But maybe he wants to be in a team that's going to be going into the playoffs. Maybe he's like, hey, get me to the New York Islanders. Maybe get me into somewhere like the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Washington Capitals. Maybe that's where he wants to go. I don't know, dude. What do you think? Post in the comments. This one would be harder to move. I don't think you're getting a first-round pick for him. We gave up a first-round pick. I think the best you can get, honestly, second-round pick, because he's a top 4 pairing guy. He's not a first-line guy. This is why it bothers me. Why in the world? It's like, we need a guy. We're going to give them a first-round pick. What? He's not a first-line guy, first-pairing guy. Oh, still makes me mad. And it's that Rutherford Alvin Pittsburgh Penguin connection that drove me nuts. Now, we did get another guy out of that deal, which was Drew O'Connor, who has been lights out, and there's something special in Vancouver about third line wingers, left wingers, but his contract is nice and beautiful, and maybe there's a team out there that wants him. He's only 27 years old. He's got a just this season left remaining on his contract, and maybe this is one of those ones. But what would you give up for Drew O'Connor? What could you get? Could you get a prospect? Could you get a third-round pick for him? I don't think you're getting a second-round pick for Drew O'Connor. But if you could, do it. You know what I mean? Because some of those second-round picks have second line potential if they're wingers, you know what I'm saying? Or second pairing defenseman there. So those are some of the things. So I do want to talk to you guys about each one of these. So please stay tuned. I'm going to be getting into your comments. And I think these Canuck conversations are worth having. Let's just hit the promo, and I'm going to get into your comments right away. All right, everyone, we're diving into the comments now, and I'm excited about that. I like this one still. I want to bring it back. If so, a swap scenario using the third or adding a scenario to get second or third. I see rumors that Vancouver is one of the 4 or 5 teams interested. I agree. Hey man, good to see you. Welcome. Good to see you. Bart says trade up to second from third. They'll move O'Connor +3 for pick 2. I don't think that moves the needle. Why in the world would this? Think about it for a minute. Not with the Vancouver glasses. Listen, whenever someone says this, I think what I'll do is I'll just put these on. Okay, I'll put these on, and I'll just say we're looking through the Canucks colored glasses for a trade like this. No way San Jose does this, okay? No way. Seriously, if we know San Jose wants Reed, all we need to do is threaten San Jose that we will take Reed if they go the route of trading down with Chicago or the Rangers or Flames. Yeah, it's fair. I think if San Jose wants Reed, they're going to get him at 2, and they're just going to go pick their guy. Now, can they trade back with Chicago and get so that Chicago can jump up and get a guy like Stenberg? That's possible. But maybe Vancouver picks Reed, and that's the guy they want. Now, we know that the Vancouver Canucks at 3, if Stenberg and McKenna's gone, they're taking Malhotra. We know that. Everyone. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I don't think San Jose moves. I don't think they make a trade. But I think Calgary's trying to move up to number 2. San Jose has 4 or 5 free agents in their D roster. I also saw that they don't expect to be able to keep all players. They don't want large salaries. I think they want good prospects with cheap contracts. That's fair. So I'll take this off. I don't think we'll see if Manny signs until after the draft. I do think I think that's a very fair point, because say Manny wants to draft Caleb and the Canucks don't, he might be mad that they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He might say, you know what? I just rather go to wherever. Pittsburgh, Toronto. No, not Pittsburgh. Is it Pittsburgh? No, it'll be Toronto. Whatever the vacancies are. Okay. So, Adam, you might have a very, very valid point. RevTrev, do you see this as the best defenseman in the draft? Reed, Verhoff, Carroll's. I think Carroll's is the number 1 D. Just curious. So I do think all 3 of those guys have top line potential. I think it's a very deep class. It's if you want a defensive announce. Also, Smits is the other guy that I think now I'm putting into that conversation. Now, he's not the most, I wouldn't say he's the most offensive defenseman, but I do think that when you're talking about solid defensemen that are going to make a difference in the NHL, I think it's Reed, Verhoff, Carls, and Smits. Those are the 4 guys that I have. I should do a video on that. So Christopher says Jake's going to Edmonton for a first or a second. I think they had an opportunity at the deadline to add him, and they didn't. So I'm a little surprised they didn't add Jake. Maybe it's because they just don't have the cap room, so we'll have to take on some salary in order to do that. If memory serves me correctly, let me just see, because the Canucks right now have tons of cap space, and that's the other thing. We might take on a bad contract to make it work. So yeah, they have a lot of cap space at the moment as well. So who would they? I mean, they just pay the big boys, and then they pay everyone like 5.5 or less, you know? Too bad we couldn't get Podkolzin back for him. Do that in a heartbeat, right, guys? But yeah, we'll see. I don't think that Edmonton's going to trade for Jake, but maybe they will. We'll find out. Don't trade all the vets. We have Lord of the Flies, right? I know, man. But we're not going to trade them all. I just had 4 just scenarios where we could trade them. Maybe a first and a second. No, I mean, if you could get a first for Jake, you just say yes. It doesn't matter what team. You just say yes. That's what you do. So if you could get a first for Jake, that would be awesome. What about a three-team trade? It's possible, more difficult to pull off for sure, for sure. Winnipeg is 100% interested in trading into the top 3 picks. I saw offers to San Jose already. You are probably right, Rev. Yeah, I think San Jose's there. Not San Jose. The Winnipeg Jets are willing to move, but as a Canucks fan, I wouldn't want to move to their spot at 8. You know what I mean? Because I think there's 7 players that you want. The 8th is the guy you don't want. Winnipeg's in the worst spot. Unless you get a guy like Schmitz. I think Schmitz is going to go to Winnipeg, personally. So we'll see. Rodney says, what about using DeBrusk to move up from 24? Also think Jake should be worth more than Garland. Well, yeah, I mean, it's just a tad bit. It's 5 point. Garland was a $6 million guy, and DeBrusk is at 5.5, so it's very similar, right? But he says because of the cap hit and the lack of players available, you just can't find 25-old guys that easy. But the problem is Jake is not 25; he's 29, right? He's 29, so that's where it's different. So yeah, I just again. And I just, if we got the Canucks colored glasses on, this makes sense. But I think from a situation from all these other teams, I don't think people want to do that. Now, it depends. Like, so if we're moving up for 24 and we put 24 and Jake together and get something better, like, I don't know, could you do Winnipeg? Would they be interested in doing that? And we get a top 8 pick? Then I'm like, okay, I could see that happening. But we'll see. We'll see. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of the Canucks colored glasses there. Jeff Merrick had a good 3-way trade. Hronek to Dallas, Robertson to San Jose first to Van. There was more to it, but those are the main pieces. Well, if we could pull that off, I would just do it. I would do that, and it's not the Canucks colored glasses. It's just like, if that's the deal, you say yes to it. 100%. Every day of the week. I'm also not the biggest Hronek fan, but I really think he would be chosen as captain. Yep. I think he can be. I don't know if that's the guy I want as our captain, but anyways, it is what it is. Johnny Canuck says, and they don't, if Hronek goes and they don't draft a right-handed shot defenseman, what's the plan? Buium, Villander, top pairing. Marcus Patterson, Mancini, and DP and Kuzdradzov. Yeah, guys, we're planning on losing again next year. Like, just we're gonna make these players play, and we could pick up a guy in the free agency that could help, another veteran presence. We definitely could. I know this doesn't make a lot of sense in the way, but at the other way, like, it depends. If you get a first-round pick, you got to move them. Justin, FYI, there hasn't been a top 3 pick involved in a trade in like 25 years. That's fair. That's what I'm saying. I don't think one of those top 3 picks are going to get traded there. I really don't. Okay, Kelly says, hear me out. Okay, I'm going to hear you out. DeBrusk to the Habs for the 34th pick and NHL winger ready prospect. I would do that. I wouldn't even think twice. I just do it. That's what I would do. Okay. I don't think the Habs would do that, though. Again, just I'm hearing you out, but I feel like right here, would the Habs do this? Does DeBrusk push them over the top? I don't think so. Okay. So a little bit of Canucks color glasses there, but I appreciate the effort. Maybe getting to the top 10 somehow is more realistic. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Winnipeg at 8, possibility. Just to mess with Boston. Yeah, exactly, right? You liked the video? Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. I think that's what you mean. What about San Jose picking Reed scenario? Winnipeg offers 2 or 3 defensive rookies. Oh, yeah, I've seen these names before with the 8th pick for number 2. I don't know enough about those prospects to really comment, to be completely honest. I could just fake it right here on my channel and go, oh, yeah, I know all those. I don't. I want to take this scenario and I want to send it to my friends who know even more about the entire league than me, and I want to figure that out. But Perfetti, you would know whether that was worth it or not, because you're saying Heinola is killing it in the IIHF right now. Yeah, well, so is Ratu, but that's another day for another time. Okay, Johnny Canuck says San Jose drafting Reed and trading for Hronek with their 20th pick would change their D immediately. Yeah, does Reed play next year? I don't think it does, but he is a talent for sure. But yes, that would be awesome. Also have Lambert, Barlow, and my namesake Perfetti to offer. Yes, Barlow, I like him a lot. Johnny Canuck, trade Marcus Patterson, keep Hronek. That's fair. What could we get from Marcus Patterson? I think at best at this stage, we could get a second-round pick. DeBrusk will be traded, but won't be for much. He has a big contract. I don't think 5.5 is a big contract. I think it's fair. It's exactly what he should be making. Yeah. I don't think it's too big. I think you could get 2 seconds for Jake DeBrusk. That's my opinion. Dell, good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. The 3-team trade was Dallas, Vancouver, Chicago. That'd be awesome. I'm all for it. As long as they're moving up in the draft, as long as we're getting better, I'm for it. Is that the Carolina chant or Montreal? I saw Carolina chanting that. Oh, I know. Carolina just came in and came in like a wrecking ball, guys. Wrecked the Habs' dreams. Just wrecked them. Perfetti, actually, Grogu was chanting all day. Really annoying. Not. Jason's in the building. Everyone with a no movement clause will go where they want to go. Yep. But it's not up to the Canucks front office. It is a bit. But if you're a guy like Jake DeBrusk, for example, I would be the guy going, you know what? I just want to be on a playoff team, and it doesn't really matter. Like, Jake's going to move. He is going to want to get out of Vancouver. He does not want to have another losing season. So, Bender Bear, good to see you. This draft is easy. McKenna, Stenberg, Malhotra. Yep, it could definitely go that way. I hope not. I hope it goes McKenna, Reed, Stenberg. That's what I'm hoping. Dell, sad day. Ken lost to Finland. I know. But I hope we get the bronze, but that is brutal. How did we lose that? The Worlds. Justin, I saw Cam Robinson said that there are some teams who have Caleb number 1 overall. Wow. Yeah, probably Vancouver. If they were saying, we want a center, it's like, that's the guy we're going with. Come on. Demko for Nurse, who says no. I just don't think they're going to do it straight up, but he's injured. Why would you do? Well, I guess, you know what? I think the Oilers would do this. Would the Canucks do it? Hope not. Okay, let's go back to that Edmonton little thing. I just want to see, how long is his contract for? It's until 2029-30. But he's got a no movement clause, guys. He's not going to accept that. He is not going to accept that. You know it. I know it. It's a bit of a pipe dream. Bender says, don't trade our only veteran defenseman. It's greedy and irresponsible. I don't think so. We're rebuilding. You've got to think 4 or 5 years down the road. That's what you got to think with this deal. And I like this. I like trading. I like the idea of trading Hronek. Do I think that we're going to trade Hronek? No. I do not think we're going to trade Hronek. Okay? I don't think we're going to trade Hronek. But I think you have to consider it. Okay? Jason says Utah is the best fit for DeBrusk, I believe. There you go. That's a great example. Utah is a really good fit for them. Now, they're pretty quick. Jake isn't as quick, but man, Jake's got some skills. I forgot we have Marcus Patterson as a veteran defenseman. Yeesh. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's one guy you could keep, I guess. Joseph says, if the Sharks don't draft Stenberg, they will trade the pick to someone within the top 5. I just don't think they will. I think they just want to get their guy with Reed. I really think that. So, Besser for Nemec 1-for-1. I would do it in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think. I would just hit accept, But I don't think Besser would do it because he has no trade clause. I saw San Jose is very interested in trading number 2, but obviously, yeah, think about what they're going to get for the number 2 pick. And if you didn't give a pick back, then yeah. But I agree. Hronek not moving. Yeah, I don't think he moves, but if we do, then we should be expecting something pretty good. They almost have too many forward prospects and want ready NHL D-man. Yeah. Again, yeah, rumors are often, well, I wouldn't say they're BS. I would say that there's interest, but that doesn't mean both sides are interested. So there might be calls made, but you know what I'm saying? So yeah, okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. 70% of rumors are just not true. They're made up by someone like you or me. Okay. But there are some legitimate ones that are flying around that we're not really talking about enough, But can you get both teams to agree? Joseph says Vancouver should either trade Verlander or a later first-round pick to San Jose to move up just one spot for Stenberg, and Stenberg will not be there at 3. Okay, I think Stenberg's going to be there at 3. But if you could trade Verlander to get 2, I just don't think San Jose does not do this deal, everyone. They just don't do it. So are you saying Verlander and a later first-round pick to San Jose to move up one spot? I don't think they do that. So to move up one spot, are you talking about that San Jose gives up their second and doesn't have the third pick? I don't think they do that. If you're talking we give up 24 plus Verlander and they just don't do that. If you're saying third, 24, and Verlander for the second, they might definitely consider that one. Justin says, but they don't want Stenberg. They want a center. Do they? You don't know that. I want the best player available. That's what I want. We need everything. We need centers, wingers, defensemen. We need everything, everyone. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Richard says, hope Demko can exist in this rebuild. Wouldn't that be nice? I think if he is healthy, he gets traded, but I love Demko. Love watching him play. So is Lekkermäki a bust? Nope. Not yet. Not yet. I think coming up, he's going to get an opportunity to play. But sooner than later, we're going to start using that word. Settle down now says, oh, by the way, good to see you. I think Canucks posturing Malhotra to lessen the trade appeal of Chicago up to 3rd, because if they believe Canucks preferred Malhotra, they might believe they could get Ivar at 4 without trading up. Yeah. Yeah, if it goes Toronto, goes McKenna, San Jose goes Reed, Vancouver goes Malhotra, Chicago wins the draft, guys, with getting Stenberg at 4. It's just a fact. So, yeah, the way Stenberg has played in the World Cup, I could see Toronto picking them as they need an NHL-ready right winger more. That's a fair argument. I've talked to a number of Leaf fans that are okay with that. They would be very okay with that. I think Stenberg's going to have a really good career. I personally don't think Lekkermäki is a bust, but I think Foote didn't give him much of a chance, but Manning developed him well. That's a great point. No, yeah, he's not a best middle 6 winger, but was injured most of last year. Yep. Great shot, though, as we all know. No, either Verlander or a pick to move up one spot. Yeah, San Jose does. San Jose just says no. So 24 and 3. Well, maybe. Does San Jose do that? So why is Vancouver moving up? To pick Malhotra? Nah, stay at 3rd. If Vancouver's moving up, giving away, I just don't see why Vancouver will do that. To get Stenberg? If they want Stenberg, then yes, that's what they got to do. Oh. Johnny says Lecker needs just to play in the AHL next year, pair him with Coots on the top line and create some chemistry. He's at that stage he wants to play with the big boys, I think. But I hear what you're saying, develop him. But he's being developed. He's going to play next year on this roster. Joseph says San Jose is not stupid. They can draft Stenberg or trade Eklund for a D-man. That's true. Anyone heard about that rumor Chicago is lowballing Bedard? Probably, but we'll see. We'll see what he does. I don't know. Is it true? I don't know. I don't know. Settle Down says a top pairing, top pairing right-handed shot defenseman will cost more than Eklund, more like a first rounder and one A1 plus 1B prospect, or they can just use their first rounder now for one. Yeah. San Jose's in the driver's seat, everyone. Richard, why is it taking so long for Manny to officially be announced as head coach? Well, if you've watched Doodle Hockey, my friend Jacob, he had Rick Dollywall on his show, and Rick said that they're in contract negotiations, and it sounds like it just comes down to money and term, and maybe the Canucks only want to give him a 2 or a 3-year deal, and he's probably saying, I want a 4 or 5. I want stability, and I want this amount of money. Like, people are like, oh my goodness, Manny Malhotra wants $2 million or plus $2 million, and he wants 4 years or 5 years. Well, yeah, give it to him. He's going to develop all young guys. I say a 4-year deal, get it done. Stop with all the proceedings. But yeah, why is it taking so long? I just think they're arguing about money and term. I saw Chicago offering $14 to $16 million range. What do you mean? 14 to 16. Oh, for Bedard. Whew. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Not saying it will happen. Just what I saw. Cats and Rats are here. San Jose can grab that extra pick to drop a spot down and get their guy anyways. Be it Stenberg or Reed, they can play a bit of 4D chess here. Yeah, absolutely they can. Like I said, they're in the driver's seat. Maybe New Jersey will trade Eklund for Nemec. There you go. There you go. By the way, I also heard the word cornerstone used in the Chicago Bedard negotiation. I mean, of course, he's got to be generational talent, or not generational, an elite talent. I don't know if he's going to be generational yet, but I hope he is. I think he could be. Yeah, San Jose is not going to mess this up. Richard says he deserves it. He also won a Calder Cup. Manny? Yeah, that's fair. Jason, 32 goals in 57 games for Lecker and Abby. He just never fit into the Canucks' future if the Canucks had re-signed Hughes. I think that his surgery was related to the fact that his shoulder popped out of the socket 2 or 3 times, though. Never did affect his shot when he returns. That's fair. It's fair. Nemec is not and won't be a number 1 right-handed shot defenseman. Projects second line best. Yep. That's a fair comment. Well, guys, we're on a Saturday night. What is this? May 30th, and we have over 79 people in this thing. We probably cracked the 80 mark. I haven't been noticing. This has been fun to hang out with you guys. Okay, listen, got to call it a night. But I want to keep making awesome Canucks content. If you like this kind of content, if you like talking about the Canucks, listen, hit the like and subscribe. Both are free. If you want to be a member, it's a small fee, but you don't have to do that, okay? It's a small fee, but 2 options there. Click the join button on YouTube. You can do it. But listen. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your questions, your feedback, and it's just an interesting conversation, right? It's a very, very interesting conversation. Have a good night, and we'll talk soon. Believe in blue. Go Canucks, go.